All it took was this fact-checking moment for Ellen DeGeneres' untouchable charm to be shattered.
You turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen.
The internet went ablaze with viral clapbacks, cracking open years of whispered rumors about Ellen's off-camera persona to her staff.
We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office.
Unfortunately, what followed wasn't just a PR stumble, but a brutal spiral to irrelevance.
She's not the happy-go-lucky, nice person.
You have to cut your fire again with accusations of a toxic work environment.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar.
You see, when Ellen DeGeneres first burst onto the scene, it was with her deadpan humor.
Cue cards are right there, and you may not think I need cue cards, but every single thing I'm saying is on the cue card. For instance, excuse me, my throat is so dry. Let me show you right here. We have...
After rising from her sitcom cancellation hell for coming out as gay, she resurrected herself as the patron saint of daytime decorum on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. From awkward, humorous moments with teenage Taylor Swift to her iconic dancing through the aisles and giving out amazing gifts on her shows.
But hold on to your Cheerios, because all of you are splitting $1 million.
Ellen quickly became America's sweetheart queen like Oprah, but unlike Oprah, she was the sugar-coated version. By the 2010s, she had built a be kind empire by making awkward jests of her high-profile celebrities.
No, why would you say this photo? That was the wingspan.
No, my friends use this photo to make fun of me.
I am terrified of porcelain dolls.
I heard that.
All right.
Just hold one.
No. My wife. Come on, stop. Stop, man.
You see, to Ellen, she was untouchable. Well, until she wasn't. Her downfall didn't start with a scandal, but with her guest, Dakota Johnson. In what must now be seen as the moment the curtain slipped, Ellen passive-aggressively accused Dakota of not inviting her to her birthday.
October 4th, you turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Dakota blinked, leaned in, and then proceeded to fact-check her into oblivion on national television.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Well, who doesn't want to be invited to a party?
Well, I didn't even know you liked Buddy.
The comments read, Ellen is so awkward in this interview. It seems she just got owned by Dakota. This is one of the most epic reverse cards I have ever seen. I'm glad she called Ellen out for being fake. You see, additional evidence suggested Ellen had ditched Dakota's birthday for a seemingly innocuous time with former President George W. Bush. Critics question Ellen's association with Bush's controversial policies, especially concerning LGBTQ+ rights. However, DeGeneres defended her friendship, stating,
Here's the thing. I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. We're all different, and I think that we've forgotten that that's okay that we're all different. When I say be kind to one another, I don't mean only the people that think the same way that you do. I mean be kind to everyone.
But what followed was an absolute downward spiral in public perception of DeGeneres when comedian Kevin T. Porter posted this now viral tweet. Right now, we all need a little kindness. Like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. She's also notoriously one of the meanest people alive. Respond to this with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean. The thread amassed thousands of responses, painting a picture starkly contrasting her public persona. Among the response was a particularly ridiculous encounter by Twitter user Chris Farah. I worked at Real Food Daily, served her and Portia at brunch. She wrote a letter to the owner and complained about my chipped nail polish. Not that it was on her plate, but just that it was on my hand. I had worked till closing the night before, and this was the next morning, almost got me fired. She would later reaffirm her story in a later interview with Inside Edition.
They're like, we have to talk to you. She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chip nail polish.
What?
And I was like...
As if the internet's fiery backlash wasn't enough, Ellen added gasoline when she posted this.
One thing that I've learned from being in quarantine is that people... This is like being in jail, is what it is. It's mostly because I've been wearing the same clothes for 10 days and everyone in here is gay.
Yeah, I can't imagine how awful it would be to be quarantined in a $27 million mansion. Can celebrities stop trying to be relatable like no one relates to you? But before the public could blink, BuzzFeed detonated a digital nuke by publishing a report featuring allegations from former employees about a toxic work environment on the Ellen DeGeneres show, including claims of racism, fear, and intimidation. Audience member Dana D'Amato went public with her horrible experience on the show.
They tell you, you can't be smarter, funnier than Ellen. She's the comedian and the star, not you.
Don't be funnier than Ellen. Well, I can't help it. It's hard not to be funnier than her. Her whole humor was based on humiliating people. Ellen responded with an apology in a staff memo, where she wrote, "Hey everybody, it's Ellen. On day one of our show, I told everyone in our first meeting that the Ellen DeGeneres show would be a place of happiness. No one would ever raise their voice and everyone would be treated with respect. Obviously, something changed and I am disappointed to learn that this has not been the case. And for that, I am sorry. Anyone who knows me knows it's the opposite of what I believe and what I hope for our show." However, Hedda Muscat, the former TV producer, claimed Ellen was aware of the bullying and a toxic environment where smiles were mandatory.
You can't wake up 17 years later and say, "Oh, I didn't know, I had no idea." You were part of that. You're the one who knew about it, you witnessed it, you encouraged it.
Celebrities like Brad Garrett and Lee Thompson publicly confirmed that Ellen has always been like this. A subsequent report by BuzzFeed gave more details of staff being fired after taking medical leave or bereavement days to attend family funerals. One employee who claims she was fed up with comments about her race essentially walked off the job. That be kind bullshit only happens when the cameras are on. It's all for show. I know they give money to people and help them out, but it's for show. Ellen's executive producer, Ed Glavin, was accused of sexual misconduct. A hashtag warfare ensued as hashtag replace Ellen trends on Twitter grew like wildfire. Apparently, the Queen of Kindness was suddenly a more wicked witch than Glinda. As expected, when Ellen returned on air, she acknowledged the issues with a Hollywood version of an apology.
As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show. And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected.
She jokes around before stating that she's a work in progress as the audience claps like hostages.
Let me give you some advice out there. If anybody's thinking of changing their title or giving yourself a nickname, do not go with the Be Kind lady. Don't do it. The truth is, I am that person that you see on TV. I am a work in progress.
However, her attempts at damage control were perceived by many as insufficient. By early 2021, the Ellen DeGeneres show had lost over 1 million viewers, making her once untouchable empire begin to crumble. And by May, DeGeneres announced the end of her talk show after its 19th season.
Today, I am announcing that next season, season 19, is going to be my last season. And I am forever grateful to all of you for watching, for laughing, for dancing, sometimes crying. This show has been the greatest experience of my life.
When asked if her decision was influenced by the ongoing controversies, Ellen struggled with her words.
There will be people who think, oh, Ellen's leaving now because of everything that went on last year. Did that have anything to do with this decision?
Well, it certainly, if it was why I was quitting, I would have not come back this year because everything happened, what you're talking about, is last summer.
She thinks she made the decision to cancel the show. That's adorable. This is like resigning before being fired. You see, in an attempt to stay relevant, Ellen returned to stand-up comedy, releasing a Netflix special titled For Your Approval. In it, she jokingly made fun of the allegations, stating,
"Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business." Yeah, because I'm mean. Here's the problem. I'm a comedian who got a talk show, and I ended the show every day by saying, be kind to one another. Had I ended my show by saying, go fuck yourselves, people would have been pleasantly surprised to find out I'm kind.
Yet former staffers criticized the special, arguing it misrepresented their experiences and lacked genuine accountability.
The essence of the special really was totally a lie. I felt Ellen was not taking responsibility at all. She was sugarcoating it.
In the post-Ellen era, public interest plummeted, as can be seen with the stand-up special's ratings. As expected, the headlines didn't hold back, calling the stand-up special bizarre, unfunny, and self-pitying. She tried launching a digital platform, ED by Ellen.
Welcome to Ed, everybody. This is something I've been working on for years and years, and it may be a surprise to some people, but anyway.
But without her networking machinery, her relevance evaporated. With kindness as her currency, Ellen DeGeneres had gone bankrupt overnight. And by the end of 2024, DeGeneres relocated to the UK, expressing no plans to return to the U.S.